Hello, Jcas here from Epic Geeks, and today I am playing Hearthstone. Yes, I finally got my beta key last week, and I have played nothing else ever since. In fact, if it wasn't for work and sleep, I am pretty sure I would be doing nothing else but playing this game. For those of you that aren't aware, Hearthstone is a free-to-play game by Blizzard Entertainment. It is a card game based on World of Warcraft and their own trading card game. It's in the beta phase at the moment, so you need a beta key to be able to play it, but it will be coming out, we're not sure when yet, but hopefully in the new year, and will be available on PC and iPad and iPhone. The aim of the video today is to show you the Mage deck. Now, the Mage deck is the first deck that you will play. It's a starter deck, but just because it's a starter deck doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy to play or defeat. It's probably one of those decks which is easy to pick up but very hard to master. So I'm going to go into my collection, show you some of these Mage cards. So mages, just like in WoW, are spellcasters with high damage burst and very, very good crowd control. A good mage player will have decks that contain minions that boost spell power, like Kobold Geomancer, which I will show you. This increases spell damage and strengthens their direct damage spells. For example, Fireball. So if you've got a Kobold Geomancer down and a Fireball even in your hand, then the Fireball will now deal 7 damage rather than 6. So if you're playing a mage, think about getting rid of that card fairly quickly. Mages enjoy good early game crowd control. They've got a lot of cards, as you can see just from this first page, which are low mana and have excellent crowd control. This basically prevents retaliation against the mage early on, so that they can play their powerful cards later on in the game, like Pyroblast down here, which causes 10 damage. They will see their crowd control abilities. They've got cards like Frost Nova, which frees all enemy minions, Arcane Explosion, which deals 1 damage to all enemy minions, Frostbolt, deal 3 damage to a character and freeze it. Later on they've also got cards like Flame Strike, which costs 7 mana but deals 4 damage to all enemy minions. So if you're the sort of player, or you've got a class where you need minions down to try and control the game, then bear in mind that a mage can very quickly get rid of the cards in your hand. What you need to hope basically is that they haven't got those cards or they haven't been drawn yet. Because they have these cards in their hand, mages will try and control the bird early on so that they can play their big spells later on in the game and finish off an opponent fairly quickly. Which, because of cards like Pyroblast and Alexstrasza here, which sets the health down to 15, that can be either your health or your enemy's health, which might sound a bit odd that you want to change your health to 15, but if you're down to 8 or 9, then that can be quite handy. But if a mage has got several minions out and they've got Alexstrasza, drop you down to 15, they can use their minions to get the 5 out and then Pyroblast you. You can be killed fairly quickly even if you're on 30 health. It's also worth knowing, if you're playing a mage, that your hero ability, which is a spell which causes 1 damage, can be used on your own minions. Now again, you might be thinking, why on earth would I want to use my damage spell on my own minions? But there are cards in the game which have a benefit if they take damage. For example, I have one in my hand called Oscillate of Pain. Whenever this minion takes damage, you can draw a card. Now it has 3 health, so you're not going to kill it with your 1 damage if you use your hero ability. And if you're low on cards, maybe you've only got 1 or none in your hand, but you've still got some mana to spend, and maybe you're at the end of the play and looking like you're on the ropes, it's worth thinking about using your hero ability to damage this card, just to see if anything useful comes out when you cause damage to it. To counter a mage play, you need to try and keep your health as high as possible, which is fairly obvious, but if you consider that a mage does have spells like Pyroblast, if you're down to 10 damage or less, then you know it's only a matter of time before this card comes out and you can be gone with just that one card being used. Most mages will keep this card back as a finisher or finishing combo, like I said, along with cards like Alistraza. So it's advisable to try and kill off mages either as early as possible by swarming or setting up a large lead by damaging the hero early on before they can use their big game cards later on in the game. Mages also have a large array of powerful secrets, but the threats from these can be minimised just with a little bit of thought. If a mage is playing a secret, it's always safe to try and determine what secret they could be playing. You'll know that a hero has a secret active because there'll be a little question mark above their head, which hopefully I'll be able to show you later on when we get into the gameplay. The first secret I'm going to show you is Mirror Entity. Now this card, when your opponent plays a minion, summon a copy of it. Now if you're going to put a powerful minion down, you don't want that mage to have that minion. So if there is a secret active, just think about playing weaker minions before a strong minion, just in case Mirror Entity is active. The next one they have, which is used regularly, is Counterspell. It's one of my favourite secrets to play. When your opponent casts a spell, counter it. So if there's a secret active, just think about playing your weaker or cheaper spells before using your strong and costly spells, just in case Counterspell is active on the board. I can't spell today. The next one I'm going to show you is Vaporize, which I don't think I have in my hand on my deck, but I can go into crafting mode and show you. Vaporize, when a minion attacks your hero, destroy it. Again, if you're going to be using a strong minion and then this card comes up, you are going to be absolutely gutted. So just think about using weak minions before putting down a strong minion, just in case Vaporize is down. There's also Spellbender, which again I don't have in my deck, unfortunately. When an enemy casts a spell on a minion, summon a 1/3 target. So Spellbender will replace the target of a single target spell with a 1/3 minion, so you can use to counter this a weak spell before an important spell to negate that. You can see already that mages do have a lot of these secrets. Another good one is Ice Barrier. As soon as your hero is attacked, gain 8 armor. Now this is a very powerful secret that will give the mage 8 armor when your minion or hero attacks it. Spells and hero powers though do not trigger this secret. It's quite a difficult one maybe to negate, and probably one that a mage will play later on in the game. It's just something you're going to have to live with if that one is played. Last one is Ice Block, which again unfortunately I do not have. When your hero takes fatal damage, prevent it and become immune this turn. So Ice Block will delay death for at least one turn, so in a close game don't be baited into using all of your cards in an attempt to kill the mage, as it may allow the mage to come back and if you sacrifice too much. So if that one's played, then just hold back a little bit and keep some of your cards back for the next round. So that's what I'm going to show you for now. Just a quick run through really of the mage deck and the sort of cards that they will use. We're going to go in and I'll show you how they play. You'll be able to see already, but that although Hearthstone is in its beta phase, it is a very nice looking game. It's looking very polished already.
You asked for it.
So you have the chance to get rid of cards early on. You want to replace high mana cards. As it is, these are quite good cards to start with, so I'm just going to confirm. Warriors are quite difficult to play. They'll build their armor up quickly, so I'm going to start off by putting the taunt down.
You shall not pass.
Job's done.
You see that a warrior has a hero power that gains 2 armor. Only costs 2 mana, so later on in the game they can end up using that most turns and have 10, 20 armor on top. Okay, so he's put down Ardent Squire, which has got a Divine Shield, which basically means the first time we damage this card, nothing will happen. He'll just get rid of the shield. I've got 2 choices. I can either get rid of the shield now by using my hero class, or I can put down my Novice Engineer, which is worth doing because we draw a card and I'll have an extra minion on the board, which is protected by my taunt card.
Job's done.
Let's go for that. Here we are, and that's the warrior there using its hero power, so you can see it's got 2 armor there. I should be able to get rid of this one now, which is probably what I'm going to do. Definitely not going to use any of my other crowd control abilities. I'm quite lucky here because a lot of my crowd control have come out quite early on, which is going to come in handy later on in the game. So what I'm going to do.
Oh, if you're sure.
Job's done.
Is get rid of that quite quickly before we can build up. So I can get rid of that card straight away if I use Frostbolt. And I've got 2 Frostbolts up, so it's probably worth doing that. Again, you know, as a mage, you're trying to control the board, so the last thing you want is the other hero to control the board.
What to do?
And that also means we can start ticking down his armor. Now I know it's annoying.
If you're sure.
The fact that all you're doing is getting rid of the armor rather than damaging the hero itself. But bear in mind that as a mage, we do have the big hitting spells later on which come into play. So as long as we can keep control of the board and keep the warrior's armor to a minimum even. Oh, nasty. Okay, that was well played. So I got rid of my taunt, which is quite irritating because I don't have a lot of taunts in this deck. Before your other minions have charge, okay. We don't want him really staying up for another round. If I hit him with that, that's going to be a 1. I can get rid of him again with 1 card, but I don't know whether I want to really use that yet. I can't really use any of the others yet. Dun 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 dun. Okay, already up to 5, so let's. That also means that I can start getting rid of.
Sure.
Job's done.
Start hitting him. Okay. See what else he's got. Now, when you're waiting for the other player, there's lots of cool little features on the map. If you click, oh, I don't know what I'm guessing he just wanted more cards. If you click that, look, there's loads of things you can play around with. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's have a look. I'm not sure if you meant to do that. Whenever you play a card, gain +1/1. Okay. It's worth putting him down first.
Give me a quest.
And I'm going to draw 2 cards. Because that gives him 3/3. And I draw 2 cards for later on. And that is a very nice card to have.
Oh, if you're sure.
Job's done.
Just need to. It's a pity I didn't have 1 mana to use to put down now, because that would have protected that card. Never mind. I've also got Ravenholt Assassin, which is very nice. I won't be able to play him next round though, because I'll probably be better off putting my taunt down. See, I'm not quite sure what happened, because last time he didn't do anything. He didn't even use his hero power, which is a little bit strange. Ouch! That's gonna hurt. Okay, well, luckily that'll go off each time. I've used that one. I'm in quite a strong position here, really. Gonna put him down as well, which also draws a card out.
Hope you like my invention.
Which again will raise that. Hit. No, I'm gonna keep that because I've also got these up. So if he puts anything down, which is got a lot of health, and that's going to come in very, very handy.
Quest accepted.
And let's get him down again. Now the good thing is I've got 2 taunts up. I just hope he hasn't got any spells that can take out that card straight away, because I want that card to be up as long as possible, because the longer that's on the board, the more powerful it's going to become. And he's probably going to use a big card here. Yeah. 6 attack. Do 1 damage. I think that was a mistake.
Whoops.
That was a big mistake, because he wasted that. He wasted that completely on a 0-2 tank.
Oh, if you're sure.
Quest accepted.
So now we're getting to the point where he's struggling. I don't know what he's got in his hand. He might come out and vaporize me in a minute, but we're in a very strong position because the only unfortunate thing is I haven't got any high damage cards yet, but I've got Ravenholt Assassin, which is high damage. I've got this card out as well, which the longer it's up, the more powerful it will get. Now what I don't want is for him to have either a board wiper or something that will take these 2 cards out. Oh, he gave up. Oh well. And I've gone up to Lebanon. Okay, I think he might have given up a little bit too easily there. I think we would have had him anyway. But you can see, the Mage can be very, very irritating to play, because you can keep the armor down, control the board, and have some nice little hits. Oh, I've got another one of those. So that is the end of Epic Geeks Hearthstone Mage Edition. There will be other editions up soon, and I'll also be putting up a basic guide to Hearthstone very shortly. On the website www.epicgeeks.co.uk we'll also be putting up hints and tips in the near future for all those Hearthstone players. So until next time, see you later.